Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the She Talk Systems channel. My name is Nicola Melinda. If you are new to this channel, a very warm welcome. I love to talk all things ClickUp and a little bit of systems sprinkled in as well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about an exciting subject. We are talking about how to manage email automations in ClickUp. When it comes to systems, email automations are the most popular feature that every business owner wants to have and needs to have in a lot of instances. Having emails that can automate communication between your clients, between your team, share updates, and just keep things moving when you're not physically there is so invaluable. And so in ClickUp, you can actually set up some really great email automations that can help you to enhance that client communication, enhance your process, and it's very, very simple to actually implement. So I'm going to walk you through how you can set up email automations in your ClickUp workspace if you haven't done already, help you leverage this feature in your platform. If you haven't already started to tap into email automations, then hopefully this gives you some good ideas, gives you a bit of encouragement and confidence to try it out. Now, one thing I will say is that email automations in ClickUp does not work the same way that it does in other platforms. Email automations can work differently in different platforms. There are platforms such as CRMs that can handle mass email communications, and so those are best served for email marketing, newsletters, funnels, and the like, because you can speak to multiple people all at once. You don't have to be worrying about an email not sending to a particular person. Instead, as long as those people are on your list, you will still get emails sent to them. Then you have a different type of email automations which you might see in platforms such as Dubsado that does handle email automations, but essentially you are setting up workflows and your emails are sending out as part of those workflow steps. Now, what is good with those email automations is that you have control on when the email sends out. You can schedule them in advance to send out to your clients. However, in this capacity, you are sharing emails with one client at a time, and it's really dependent on when that workflow triggers, when the automation is going to fire out that email. So it is still functional, but just in a different way. In ClickUp, your emails are set up according to the lists and the automations that you put together. So you are structuring your automations based on the trigger, as an example, when a task is created or when a status is updated perhaps, and then you would have an email that will send. Now, your email automations are pretty set inside of ClickUp, which means that what you put in the automation is what will fire out. You don't really get the opportunity to customize that email as you might do in other platforms. However, as long as it is a very, very standardized process, you can still make this work in your business, and I'm going to share it with you exactly how. So stick around and let's go through a screen share together and I can talk you through how this all works. Okay, so in this video we are focused on email automations and how you can set those up inside of ClickUp. So what I'm going to do is first of all show you exactly where to go to set up your email automations. So if you go to your workspace settings, and then you'll need to click on email integration here. So here you can see that I've already got an email account already attached to it. So you do need to ensure first of all that you've got the email ClickApp enabled and make sure that is switched on. And also you can decide what spaces that this ClickApp should be applied to. So you can disable whichever ones you need and don't need. And also you can decide how you want the replies to the emails to be added into that task. So if you want them to be added as threaded replies or new comments, then you just click this box on and off. But to add in a new account, you'll just click on add new, and then it will ask you to sign into your email client. So if I was going to sign into my Google account, as you can see here, I've got a few. So I'm going to sign into my test account here. It's going to ask me to continue. It's going to give me some options there. It's going to say that ClickUp will allow ClickUp to view my email messages, send email on my behalf, see and download my contacts. So now you can see that our email account is linked, which is great. So the people who can send from this account is going to be myself. And I'm just going to say we'll send the email as Nicola Melinda. and you can decide what that looks like, but we'll just click done for now. And then if you do have an email signature, this is the place to add it. So if we click on the tab signatures, then you can start to add in any branded email signatures that you may have. So let's just put this as our main. And I'm going to insert an image, as I have an email signature image that I can upload. There we go. If you have HTML, if you do coding, you can pull that in. You can just literally just switch that to HTML code in. But I've pulled in my email signature, which is literally just created in Canva. Now under templates, this is where you can actually create some templates. So you might have some email templates that you want to create, and this is where you can build out some canned emails. So I'm not going to do that on this video, but the option is there if you wanted to do that. So let's go back to our workspace. So now that you've got your email account set up, you can start to create some automations. Now, as I mentioned earlier in this video, these are not necessarily automations that will send out to everyone in your workspace. They have to be sent to an individual in your list, and also you have to be able to pull the email address from somewhere. So first of all, where do you find your automations? So if you go to automations at the top of this page, and I'm going to use in this example my client intake form. So when a client fills out this form, I want to send out an email to just let them know that we have received the form. So you can see there we've already got an automation in place. But if I was doing this from scratch, this is what I would do. So if we look at the options that we have down in this section, we can see that we've got email as an integration option. So we'll click on that, and it's going to pull up some ways that we can start to automate emails. So it's given us some suggestions of how we can send emails or when we can send emails. So it's showing us the various triggers that we can use. So when a task type changes, send an email. When an email is moved to a certain location, when a task is created, when a status changes, and when a due date arrives. And you also have the option to create a custom automation, which means that you can decide what the trigger is. In this example, we're going to keep it simple and start with when a task is created, then we can send the email. So when that task is created, when that task hits the list, we then want to send that email. So we're going to apply our email address, click select, and you can see here that it's now showing who that email is going to be sent from. And so a couple of points that you need to note: you need to have applied to this task an email address, and you also need to have a first name if you're going to be personalizing these emails. So the system needs to pull that info from somewhere. So we have added on the initial task, as this is a form that is being completed, clients are going to fill out their first name, their last name, and we'll capture their email address. And that will allow me to then add the smart fields here on this side. So we're going to build this out. Simply click on email address, and that is going to pull in this smart field into the to function. So we know that this is going to the email address as it's a field on that task. And then the subject could be whatever you want it to be. So in our case, we'll say, keep it very much on brand. So we received your form, and then this is where in the body you will write out your email. So down below you'll see that there's a couple of functions here. So email templates, if you did have templates already applied, as I shared with you before, this is where you can pull those templates into this section. And also, if you remember, we added in an email signature. So we can click on add signature, and I've labeled my signature as the main. And it is really just system support. So we can then say, hi, let's put task name, which will be the name of the person. So now you've built out your email. and we've added in our fields, and this is literally how you can do that. You can then go ahead and create this automation, and once you've done this, what it means is every time, we've got 2 now, every time someone fills out my client intake form, it is now going to send them an email which will sit within the actual task itself. So we open up this task card. Here's one I made earlier. We can see here, this is a previous automation that's in place. So we can see here, we've got the email that's been sent. And this is how you know that the emails have been sent, because it will show up in the activity view inside of the task itself. So you'll be able to see exactly how it's sent out, exactly what it looks like. Some other examples of email automations that you might also want to consider could be for task submissions. So if you have clients who want to submit tasks and you have a form that you're using to do that, then you can literally capture the task and the work that the client is asking you to do, use that form to create that task, and have an email that sends out that gives the client a recap of everything that they have captured, everything they have shared, and you can also respond to let them know that a team member is now going to be working on that task for the client. So there are many different use cases that you can use in that scenario. So I cannot wait to share with you the next video that is coming up. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out. Until next time, have a fabulous day.